Okay, everybody can see, yes?
Yes.
Okay, this is Liquid versus Genji. First pick is Liquid, so map pick was Genji. Okay, let's see what goes on here. Okay, so first ban from Liquid is Sergeant Hammer. This is a fairly straightforward ban. People just literally did not know how to deal with Hammer, and or the hero just wasn't in their pools. And also the fact that she's just a very safe DPS in pretty much every situation, and she brings an alternative win condition to the composition that she plays in, while also being very safe. People think that Hammer is vulnerable to Chromie. This is just not true. You literally just don't siege up, and the Chromie can press W on you, and you're fine. And additionally, the Chromie should be zoned anyway. There's no way a Chromie should be able to get in W range of you on that hero. It just doesn't fundamentally make sense as to how you play the hero.
So what you are saying is that Chromie can counter Hammer if it's Storm League, not if
Pretty
it's
much.
competitive.
Yes, not in competitive. I think in competitive, Chromie countering Hammer is a little bit of a meme. Because if the Hammer can just auto attack things, not like forts and keeps, but like more objective things like Infernal Shrines, for example, then the Hammer is generally pretty safe. Like, I think Cav would argue with me on this, but I personally think like W build Chromie is just horrible, and if they're going to like dedicate a hero to having W Chromie instead of like a real hero, I think I'm perfectly fine with that. But anyway, that's like kind of neither here nor there. Chromie, for whatever reason, I don't think was in the meta for this tournament at all. So she wasn't picked. Genji bans Maiev, really straightforward reasoning as to why they do that. Maiev is a completely fucking broken hero in every single way imaginable. She went through 4 rounds of nerfs.
Last time.
This is basically the exact same ban. Maiev is a completely fucking broken hero. You remove Maiev if your opponents have brain cells and can play the game. Enemy team removes Diablo. Diablo's pretty simple. Win condition on a tank. Lots of CC, lots of versatility, can be used in multiple ways. He only plays the tank slot. He can't play any other slots, but in that slot, he has a lot of diversity. Genji removes Genji. XD.
And banning Diablo just opens up a lot of options. Because
Yes.
now you don't have to worry about if you can kill Diablo or not.
Yes. Genji gets banned because this is a LAN, and Genji is 10 times more powerful on LAN.
Just to clarify something, this is Europe versus Korea, right?
Yes, at the HGC Finals for 2018.
Okay.
So this is like all the best teams get picked up, basically. Like, so Team Liquid first picks Tronda. Really straightforward. Tronda was broken at the time. She had cleanse at level 1. That's kind of good, allegedly. Genji has to pick up 2 heroes here. Team Liquid goes with a neutral one, but we know what slot Tronda's going to be in, so she's going to be in the support slot, and she's going to bring all the healing that the team really needs and give them a vision tool in the form of W. She also gives the possibility of counter engage in the form of Shadow Stalk, which is part of the reason why I kind of slightly dislike the Diablo ban, because I think they're good enough to do that quite easily. But I guess they want to go for Starfall or whatever. Genji goes for Deckard into Hanzo. So this is an interesting one too. Number one, Deckard shuts down a variety of double support compositions because of Emerald, and makes it significantly more difficult for Liquid to pick up something like a Ana or an Uther or anything of that nature. And Deckard is one of very, very few heroes in the game that have anti-heal, but are simultaneously not made of glass, i.e. not Ana. Ana, you can't draft this early because you just get dove and she evaporates.
Also worth mentioning that Deckard was way stronger in this day.
Was he? I don't think they changed much.
Yeah. So, no, but what happened was there was one patch where they increased his Q cooldown from 3 seconds to 4, and that just destroyed the hero. For 2 reasons. One, it's like actually just a 33% nerf to your healing output. But 2, it's actually more than that because it's a 33% nerf to Potion of Shielding. And like they've been trying to buff it back ever since. The healing got, so like you could see this, like the healing got buffed by 10%, but the cooldown got nerfed by 33%. And like ever since then, Deckard's never been the same. So
interesting.
Deckard's like when someone's getting like focused, Deckard's ability to save them by just chucking potions on them was so much higher back here, and that made him way more viable. So he was much better in this day. He only had one build, but he was much better in this day than he is now. Because like he just saved people way better. So anyway.
Genji picks up Hanjo. Hanjo is really good on Infernal because he can go Q build. Q build really strong on Infernal for a variety of reasons. One of the fun
Right.
things
I
you
mean-
can do with Q builds is once you get to 16, you get the Pierce, and then you can hit somebody with the Explosion from the level 4 talent in addition to hitting them with the projectile itself, which deals a ridiculous amount of damage if it is correctly stacked. You did end up going for W, actually. Simple geometry into
No, you-
Q4.
You don't go Q build on Infernal. You go just Q4, right? And you just go W build around it.
Yeah, I guess that's
Because
fine.
Q4 is the only thing you need,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah,
don't
you don't
really
really
need
need
increased range.
Q1.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
also
sorry, I can see it.
Q4 was stronger.
And like W7 is like what makes the hero exist, in my opinion.
That's fair. Team Liquid goes for Tyrael Kerrigan immediately. So if you take Kerrigan that highly, you obviously think that Kerrigan is just going to get removed. Rich is one of the best Kerrigans in the world as well, so they also had to deal with that across the screen. And then Tyrael is pretty fucking obvious. Hero's broken in every way imaginable. If you want me to break that down, I'm not going to, because Hero's broken in every way imaginable.
Well, he seems pretty. He enables Kerrigan pretty well.
He
Who
enables,
picked the
what
Hanzo
doesn't he
here? Is
enable
it
very well?
Rich or Reset?
We don't know.
Okay.
At the okay, so it's a reset, but at the moment they didn't know. So like in the context of the draft, no idea. Blaze gets removed. So one of the reasons Blaze gets removed is it gives them a lot of versatility on Team Liquid side to have just too many save options. So they have the cleanse on Tyrande, and then they have the sanctification, and then they have the bunker, and it's just like so much fucking defense that it's really hard to get through all that. And
Right.
Genji obviously doesn't want to pick it up themselves because they feel like it's not very strong. A, into Tyrael, who's squirrely as fuck. B, into Kerrigan, and C, into Tyrande, who's just going to cleanse it anyway and should never be getting hit by the stun. Team Liquid, on the other hand, removes Arthas. Arthas was a really, really comfortable hero for Tist. He one-tricked it virtually in 2017 and was extremely proficient on it. In addition, Arthas pretty much shuts down everything on Team Liquid in that they don't have a hard front line to deal with it. So Arthas just kind of gets to walk into you for free, and Arthas hard counters Kerrigan for the most part, because once she is in, she is stuck in. The obvious exception to this is in situations where Kerrigan has a wave behind her that she can Q to, or alternatively on the shrine itself, if the minions are not already grouped. If the minions are grouped, this is not the case. And that's pretty much the extent of the Arthas fan that I understand. There are probably a variety of synergies that Arthas has going on for him on Genji side that could have been picked up, but I'm not aware of them.
Well, Arthas, this also came up last time. Arthas is one of the. Arthas is better into Tyrande because Tyrande doesn't really deal with his CC.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I assume he's pretty good into
Trying to cleanse
Kerrigan
cleanse
just
root.
as a counter engage.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the Kerrigan engage fails, then they're kind of screwed if they have Arthas. So it seems to make sense.
Okay, so
Johanna,
this is an interesting two, man. So this was back when Joe was a hero that could
Right.
clear waves. Johanna being
Yes.
able to clear waves really fun. She also has multiple condemns that can proc off the shrine. Let's see what build he actually went. I want to know.
well, presumably
Oh,
he
he went
just went
conviction at 4. Interesting.
exposed. Oh, really?
So he went hold
And
your
Blessed
ground into
Momentum,
conviction,
what?
blessed momentum into blessed hammer into holy renewal. Huh.
What is
It's
this build?
test. This probably makes sense for a reason. I don't understand that reason.
Okay.
Malthael gets picked. Malthael, really simple hero. Gives you a counter to Sanctification in that you sometimes have to hold Sanctification to deal with the last rites. Or you come
Question.
out of the
Was-
Sanctification and immediately die.
Was this before he was reworked into having a cleave attack, or was this after? he
This was
reworked?
Absolutely
cleave?
after. I'm like
This
almost
is
certain.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the hero was pickable before, right?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Basic attacks now cleave was 180206. This is November.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay. Because yeah, I don't know why I hear people sometimes complain about that change. That was like the best fucking change ever for Marcel, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was. Okay, Urel gets picked up here. Urel, really fucking straightforward hero. Tanky as fuck, doesn't die. Good on land because you can also react faster with the DW, so you can knock back things that are actively engaging on you. It is a downside in that she trades really fucking poorly into Malthael. You really don't
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say.
trading Ardent Defender for a Last Rites literally ever. But the thought process on Team Liquid is we are a Shrine comp, we are committing to the Shrine. And in that
Yeah.
extent, all they really need from their offlaner is somebody who is A, relatively safe, B, tanky, and C, survives in the actual team fight independent of the Sanctification. Urel meets all those qualifications and was highly popular at the time as a result of that. Also, she has fantastic rotations. She's one of very few
Yes.
heroes that can match Malthael in the 1v1 rotational speed just because of her 7 divine steed. And then they pick up Gul'dan. Gul'dan is, I think, a comfort hero at the time for Hasu. I think he just liked playing this hero a lot.
Oh, wait, this is
Specifically,
interesting.
this was Hasu picking up. No, this is pretty fucking straightforward. This is
No,
accurate
no,
corruption
it's
build.
something else.
Oh, okay. He got
No
No
full
cleanse
health.
on Tyrande.
Yeah.
There's
other
nothing
cleanse
to cleanse,
or-
I think.
Well,
Was the
Moonlight.
thought process?
Dragon Arrow.
Yeah, there's only 2 cleanse.
Dragon Arrow.
I think the thought process is Dragon Arrow is supposed to be eaten by the tank, so it doesn't matter. I think that's what the thought process is. Could also be a misclick, no idea.
They picked Johanna into Tyrael,
Yes,
which is interesting.
especially in the context of his build.
Yeah. He doesn't even have the wave clear at 4.
Yeah, he literally
So
didn't pick
he's
it for
just, the
wave clear.
Johanna just doesn't clear waves this game. Which is kind of sketch.
And this was when the 4 was like fucking amazing because you could use it on the shrine minions as well, and you could just proc it off of fucking everything.
Oh, yeah,
So they're
that's
not.
right. I
So
love
they're not
Tyrael.
using her as a, what's a fucking word I used to use to describe Mal'Ganis?
You're talking about the yellow 4, right?
Yeah, the yellow 4.
They're both yellow, but
So
yes.
fucking.
The yellow
it's,
W.
It's a word like
Yes.
harass, but I can't remember what the fucking word is. But it's a word I use to describe tanks that just constantly have small interrupts and constantly have a chance of interrupting you at a point where it's really fucking critical. And they just kind of
Disrupt?
spam that shit out.
Tank.
Oh, disruption tank, yeah. Fucking disruption tanks. Mal'Ganis is a disruption tank in my opinion. Johanna, when you took Eternal Retaliation at 4, pre-rework, before they made her different, she used to be a really good disruption tank. Because even if you only hit a conviction on, like, say, 3 heroes and, like, 2 minions, like, that's still enough to almost reset the W to being, like, a 4 or 5 second CD. So basically every couple of seconds you could pop out a stun. And that stun would very frequently interrupt things that are very fucking important to not interrupt.
Like Urel's abilities.
Yes, such as Urel.
Except they didn't do that.
They didn't
but-
know, they didn't know Urel was out at that point though. They didn't have that information. I think they picked Johanna here as a versatile solution to multiple problems and a stun. As far as I can tell, that is what Johanna is being utilized here for. She
Then
is a
there's
tank
also-
that can't be killed by the combination of Tyrael and Kerrigan. And
Indeed.
she's one of very few tanks that actually has a unstoppable and doesn't need a save to come from another slot. In that
Yeah.
she also has Falling Sword. There's a variety of things Johanna is shutting down here that I'm just not seeing.
Oh, I've seen this replay before.
And I also just kind of fundamentally don't. I fundamentally don't understand Conviction Blessed Momentum.
Oh, this is the game
I
where
don't
Rich
either.
trolls his talents.
Rich trolled his talents this game.
Yeah. He goes Black Harvest, and Cav went over this replay with me and told me that he literally never got a single second of value out of Black Harvest the entire game.
God damn, that sucks. Was Massacre 16 a thing here?
They were reversed. So
Mortality was
I think-
available. Moved from level 7 to level 16. This happened in 0206. Yeah, so it was available. You could
Oh,
go
okay.
Massacre Mortality still. It was just at a different tier. Or rather, it was at the same tier. This was already changed by then. Last right, Shroud of Wisdom. Really like Shroud of Wisdom here. And then they obviously go 5 Sonya. Sonya's gonna
Well,
have a really hard fucking time into Sanctification. Like, how does she fucking spin? So confused. And she went
We'll
the
see.
4, but not the 7.
Well, this is when Battle Rage was really good, right?
No, this is the old
Battle.
Battle Rage. Battle Rage was
Hmm.
still shit then. Restoring 10% of your maximum HP, all that gives you is a burst protection. But you can achieve, I guess it gives you a different button. And if you're worried about getting 100 out like instantly, Battle Rage is better. Okay, I can kind of see it. In the situation, in the context, it seems okay.
Doesn't it
Dan.
apply to monsters as well?
No, it's just
Damage?
mercenaries. Solely merc camps.
Maybe there was actually no, because bug abuse on land would have been really bad. So never mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. About Gul'dan a little bit. So Gul'dan is their last pick. I mean, they need something that has really good wave clear or shrine clear. Actually,
Mhm.
Kerrigan has really good shrine clear. But
They just need wave clear.
yeah, they need wave clear. So like, Gul'dan certainly fits that. It's not the only hero that fits that, but I don't know. They have to have some kind of like wave clear mage because they don't have much. They really don't have anything else. Kerrigan may not have room to clear the wave.
Mm-hmm. Random personage, thank you
I
for the
don't know.
follow.
Maybe they want to just like out clear Gen G really hard in addition to their like pick potential because they have Tyrael, right? So the Johanna wave clear is nullified, and with Gul'dan has really good wave clear, so they're just like, yeah, we'll just clear waves better and out rotate you and then get picks.
Zane, this might be kind of a nitpicky thing, but are you able to up the quality of the Discord stream at all?
Mhm.
It's pixelating whenever people move.
Oh, it's literally at 1080/60.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's literally as high as I can set it without Discord taking a shit, because if I set it to source, it just crashes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, source just doesn't work. Trust me.
I swear.
The
to-
last time I tried
no,
source,
no, bad
Torrent
Black
50
Storm.
exploded.
Bad Black Storm.
What?
They're not really using Hasu as a wave clear hero here. They're more trying to stack his corruption as quick as possible because they had Arcana rotate bot to get the wave, and they had Hasu stay with Sport Billy. Obviously, the enemy team has like no threat in terms of CC unless Deckard hits everything. Infernal is beating Kyocha to death. Holy shit. All URL
I
downs,
really
by
don't
the
like
way.
Genji's draft, honestly.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I feel like they like had the Malfail, and they should just stick Malfail top into URL, and that's a winning lane, and then not pick the Sonya. Or stick Sonya
Or
in the
put her in
opposite lane.
4-man.
Yeah, like,
Or
I
just
don't
rip a
understand the
leap.
4-man Malfail here. It's so weird.
He might have
I
been
do
shutting
not
down
see
other
Marcel
things we
as a
didn't see in
tournament hero.
draft. He might have been shutting down other things in draft that we're not aware of, is worth noting. There's probably more going on here behind the scenes than we're ever going to be able
Or
to
it's
identify.
Just
But,
it can
like,
also just be a mental throws game. Like,
Could
what
be.
are they doing?
Like, I get the
Hey,
point of
Billskin.
like picking the Malfail early, like with the intention of throwing off things in a draft. But I feel like your last pick, right? You already know what their whole draft is when you pick Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand that pivot.
Pillskin, stick around. It'll come back. Oh wait, there's no L, I'm retarded. Pieskin, 36? Question mark? Is that how it's pronounced? Pieskin or Piskin? Wait, the latter sounds not
There's an
ideal.
L in there. It's Ply.
Oh, I'm super retarded. Pieskin. Okay. Stick around. Off meta stuff will be coming back very soon.
We're doing it.
Spoilers.
DM.
So Genji is mostly just playing safe and avoiding.
Yeah,
to
they're
avoid
trying not to
things
stack
happening.
corruption.
They don't want to stack corruption. They don't want. I mean, they don't want to stack anything. They don't want to get picked.
Oh, I see the
They just
problem.
don't really have a reason to fight. So now we're on the shrine.
Oh, that's a fat fucking corruption. Oh my god, look at that damage coming in from Haas. So he had a double stack on both the front line. Look at this fucking setup right here. It's triangle from Deckard, but triangle from Deckard set up Genji for TL because it baited them into grouping on the shrine so that they could get all of the shrine minions. TL knows that Genji is good enough to group shrine minions and immediately clean them together perfectly so as to prevent the steal from happening from Team Liquid. So
Yep.
knowing that Genji is going to immediately group their two front line, Hasuabs chucks out an E that hits both of them. They instantly get the slow coming in from Urel, and the slow from Tyrael came out first. They get the fucking lockdown with Infernal, double knocking them into the corner. They kind of fuck up because Nurok really should have waited for that
Yeah.
stun, but Arcaner immediately finds the follow-up pull. At this point, the Shrine is just one because Sake can't possibly restore the amount of resources that they're missing. Also, worth noting, this entire time, Malthael just wasn't fucking here because he was clearing a midwave, so Genji really should not have been fucking contesting this at all. They used
I think I see the
their
problem.
biggest fucking spell to literally clear the fucking shrine minions. Like, no shit, you lose the fight.
All of Gen G have the matching Gen G mounts besides Rich, who's on the Sad Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly the issue.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. You're all
Yes,
doing your
what?
things and 1v9ing. Yeah, at this point in time, I think Team Liquid just has like such a huge resource advantage right now, with the exception of Sport Billy being kind of low. Like, they have taps
Yeah.
available right now. They can back off, take their taps, come back in. Okay, Infernal engages hard on Rich, and he does the knockback. They don't follow it up because they know Rich has W to get out with, and Rich actually goes forward here. Kind of gets himself picked by going forward there. That's kind of fucking insane. He's going in without the rest of his team, and Kyocha's literally on a fucking wave right now. Okay, this is why they lose. Half your team is on the shrine, half your team is on the wave. Pick one. I used to
Okay,
bitch
yeah.
about this
Insane.
on the previous team I was
Pause
coaching
here,
all the
pause
time.
Okay, scroll back to the moment where Malthael stops going forward and turns back.
But that's a head.
You know, like, yeah. He starts going forward now, like that. Yeah, pause there. Like that single point where he was forward, in my screen, he's like trolling the positioning. Like every Malthael reflex I have tells me that I am trolling at that single point in time.
Does he so okay, does Malthel have a mark on one of the shrine minions? Because if so, yeah, okay,
No,
he has a
there is,
mark
there
as
is,
well.
there is.
So like Kerrigan could combo him, but he is going to react to that and W out of it. And Arcaner knows that, and so he never throws out a combo.
He can't W because he used his E and he has nothing to W too.
He had Urel. Urel was marked. And there might have been a monkey that was marked.
Oh yeah, it wasn't.
Hey,
marked.
Kurch. We're just reviewing HGC games and learning stuff.
So basically, it's like Malthael is a lot safer than he looks if you have something to W to and you are a god on LAN with 0 ping, and like you can just dodge almost anything
Mm-hmm.
on reflex, which is what's happening here. Like that was a perfect opportunity for a Kerrigan combo, except it wouldn't work because he'd just W out of it.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they didn't
So he
commit
does-
CC
I
on
don't see
Infernal
the mark on
Stomp.
Urel.
Which is why it never happened.
I don't
But
see
then
the
your
mark
all
on
goes
Urel.
in.
Yeah, there's a mark on URL right now. And it just left.
Okay, if that's the case, then he's safe. If he has a mark, then he's safe.
He had a mark on URL the entire time
Yeah.
that you're
I guess I
pointing out.
can't see it because Mosaic stream.
X fucking D. Thanks, Discord.
Really fun.
The second he doesn't have a
And
mark on
I-
URL, he backs up like almost immediately.
Okay, then he's playing perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway, back to the fight.
But yes, don't try this at home.
Yeah, try this
No,
at
of
LAN
course
instead. Okay, so Genji has a resource disadvantage here in that taps are available for TL. TL isn't utilizing their taps right now. Because they're worried that Genji will literally just take the whole fucking shrine and push them off. So it's kind of like they're neutralizing TL's tap advantage, which is really interesting. By digging in, they're basically neutralizing TL's ability to just kind of back off, take a tap, and come back in, because they know that once Genji
Wait.
holds that position, there's no way for them to push in with a Gul'dan composition.
There's 6.
There's 6.
I was gonna
both
say
of them.
if Rich was 8 or if Rich was 7, then Sport Billy dies there.
Yes.
W.
Mm-hmm.
Was I confused why he
I
backed up?
also want to point out that there's like no answer to Urel
Mm-hmm.
on Genji's team. She's the only one who can.
I mean, Malthael would need a
like, when
different
she
level
goes
4
in-
to answer to Irel.
Well,
With
but not
with that
really
alone,
in a
he can just bully
5v5.
her.
Kind of, but like she just goes in and there's nothing to stop her. Johanna can't do anything. Sonya can't do anything. Maltho can't do anything. Deckard's CC doesn't stop her nearly fast enough, even if it lands. How does this happen? Does Genji win this? Win this fight?
Find out next time on.
That's super gross if that happens.
It's a condemn into no follow-up as well. They're not following up
more or
condemns
less.
in any capacity. I don't like that.
I
If you
feel
don't
like
know
they're just
CDs,
making a ton of mistakes like in this replay in general.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like their game to watch, but up to you.
I mean, it's an example of the best team in the world losing. It's probably worth learning
Yeah, no,
from.
it's third game. It's likely that they are starting to get tired, mentally tired.
No, I really doubt that
Neither
was
team
it.
can-
No, that was hyper not it. I guarantee that was not it.
No,
No, I
Okay.
100% guarantee that was not it. Stamina is not an issue you have
Okay.
when you're a world-class team. Stamina is an issue you have when you're not a world-class team and you don't have world-class training environments.
very
Yeah.
good then.
Stamina is a fucking
like-
issue when you don't have like the ability to like, fucking get exactly what you need just ordered, and just, when you need food, it's ordered. When you need a snack, it's right there. When you need a drink, it's taken care of by somebody else. You don't have to focus on the stresses of real life because you're just focused entirely on your training environment, because your, support staff is the one that's making sure that all of that shit is taken care of for you. Like, that option is there, and just having that option there removes so much stress off of like your head of just like real life, and kind of removes you into this alternate own universe where you're just comfortable and just focused on the game. And like again, they scrimmed day and fucking night for like a month before this tournament. Like day and fucking night. Like I'm talking 9 hours of scrims a day minimum. Probably doing 6 to 7 hours of scrims plus 3 hours of VOD review every fucking day. Right? Like stamina is not a fucking issue you have in this situation because pre-tournaments people go crazy. End rant.
Slash rant.
I actually
So,
never asked you what
okay.
your this is off topic. So
No,
I'm
go for it.
So
like-
team,
Off
so
topic is
note
fine.
about positioning here.
Mhm.
Gen G, even though so Kyocha is on the wave or has been for a few seconds, which is maybe questionable, but Gen G is doing something interesting. They have like Deckard and like they have they're never they have like no ability to clump with the way that they're playing. They
Mhm.
have Deckard and Hanzo who both have really long range in like one group on the side,
Mhm.
and then they have Johanna and Malthael actually on the shrine,
Mhm.
and Deckard and Hanzo are off of it. Meanwhile, Team Liquid are about to clump really hard, and it looks like they're gonna get punished for it.
Mhm.
Like look at the like Deckard and Hanzo are like on this side.
I mean,
and
the
there's
problem is they
no
don't have any
way-
punish for it outside of the condemn, right? There's no actual punish for it. Like
Well,
there's no
let's
punishment to
see.
them grouping together. It's literally
right
just
here.
until the Sonya spin comes in, nothing
Right
is
here,
happening.
like what is that? Like this is terrible from
This
Team
is
Liquid.
hard fucking trolling is what it is. They'll back out at the exact same direction while their backline advances. They all get
Yeah.
hit by one Sonya stun. And then Rich
And-
ends up dying here. But Team Liquid just has
And
less
also-
resources. Because again, don't forget, one of the advantages Gen G had by going to 20 skulls and having 20 skulls, like, performance anxiety can be a thing. Very true. One of the advantages Gen G had going to 20 skulls was Team Liquid felt that if they ever back off the shrine, they're not going to be able to push back on. So they neutralized the tap advantage immediately right there. And all of the advantage that Team Liquid got from the earlier skirmish is now neutralized. So this is effectively a brand new 5v5. And basically what's happening here, Sportbilly is getting punched harder than they're punching Rich. Because Rich is self-healing and Sportbilly is not. Look at Rich's self-healing for this fight. It was probably several K. Because he has full barred his entire HP bar at least twice or thrice. Literally stare at Rich's HP bar. Don't do anything else. Just look at Rich when he comes in. Just stare at his HP bar for the next like 15 seconds. Okay?
Yeah.
Nothing has happened yet. Nothing has happened yet. Absolutely nothing has happened yet. Gets punched. All right, this is okay.
That's what I'm talking about though. Like Urel just jumps into 4 people, W's them, and there's nothing they could do about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now he's gonna start getting punched by the Tronda and the Hasu and the Eternal and everything else. Okay. He has healed for 30% of his bar. Healed for an entire HP bar now at this point. Okay, it's another quarter of a bar. That's another quarter of a bar. It's another quarter of a bar. It's another quarter of a bar. It's another half of a bar. Do you see what I'm saying?
Completely safe card, by the way.
See how many fucking
he
HP bars he has right there just because Malthael doesn't fucking do the die. He just
And-
Which is
keeps on
ironic.
fucking living there.
And it was
Very
almost
ironic.
so much worse because he almost got one more W off on like 5 heroes.
If he had a level 4 talent, I think he wins that super fucking hard. Because there were multiple points in this fight where he had Eternal as a 1v1, and he could have just kept Eternal on the side, not cleaved to the right side, and just 1v1 Eternal on the shrine actively. If he had a level 4 talent, if he had Die Alone, I think this goes like super fucking hard in Gen G's favor. As it was, it did go in their favor, but only just barely.
Throwing Shade didn't exist at this point, right? Like, what was the other 4 besides Black?
No, Throwing
Harvest
Shade
and
did
Dialog?
exist. It was just super shit.
Okay.
It did exist. It was just hyper garbage.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, so is Black Harvest, though, right?
Yeah, no, that's
Yes.
fair. But I do think like the only pick is like Die Alone at this point in time. Okay, so right here, this is super interesting. And again, like one of the things you should point out, or I want to point out about the Gen G composition, is they have a shit ton more self-sustain that isn't shield related, right? They have raw HP resources, right? Malthael has a shit ton of HP. Sonya has a shit ton of HP. Both of them heal for 1 trillion, right? So Deckard really only has to worry about healing just Johanna, right? For the most part, Deckard doesn't have to give a shit about anybody but Johanna, because for the most part, Malthael and Sonya are completely self-reliant. I really just need to have your stream on constantly, always late when you're doing something interesting. I'll be here all fucking day, so don't worry. You'll have plenty to look at. Right, so Sonya spins through the entire fucking team right there. They focus Rich, but they've used all their cooldowns on Rich. Now Reset is just fucking free to open fucking season onto Nurok. Gets the Arcaner, bomb goes off right there, get the double, triple, fantastic.
shit.
1v1 support v
Holy
support.
shit, Tyrael value.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the 1v1 support.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Zane, at some point you should connect your Discord to your Twitch so that people can see when you're streaming just by like the servers you're in.
Oh yeah, I guess I should fucking do that. I think I literally just have it turned off. Nah, whatever, I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Kaboom. Alright, so neither of them have anything to fucking do here. Deckard auto attack, famous for being one of the strongest in the game, of course. Narok auto attack, famous for
They're
being
both
one
out
of
of
the
mana
strongest
too,
in the
is the
game.
funniest part.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to finish the stride.
This is so sad. Also, Deckard's auto attack is the only one in the game that could stun.
Skullcracker?
Okay, that's fair. But it's a much longer stun.
Right, they eventually get the shrine in the most depressing way possible. Is this nostalgia though? Not really. I feel like if I was watching for nostalgia's sake, I'd watch my own games. Malthael comes in off of the flank. Interesting how they look to bait the Punisher right here as well. Obviously,
watching
Tish
the Black
debates it
Harvest game
immediately.
with
He
the
pops the
Xers.
D pretty fucking late. This is gonna matter because the D is gonna come back off CD later than it needs to. He should pop the E like early as fuck because he's not gonna take any damage on the shield. This is a fuck up by Tist. He does step up to try to use the shield while he has it, but then he just kind of wastes a condemn that doesn't achieve anything. He does have level 7, so he does have blessed momentum, so auto attacking is super fucking important for him because it resets cooldowns. But he wastes his entire D kind of right there. Eternal, again, literally unpunished. I think if die alone was a thing, Malthael could just be 1v1ing Eternal this entire time and not, like, give a fuck. Because, again, 1v1 for Malthael, he pretty much stomps every single one there is. That isn't,
I'm like genuinely
arranged.
wondering if he misclicked it.
He fucking might have, honestly. Gets a mark onto Arcaner, just Arcaner. He gets a combo directly onto Rich. Yep, that's dead. If the Kerrigan combo hits and you have a professional level team, the target dies. It either gets cleansed or it dies. One of the two.
Because if 5
Rich gets
supports
hit,
hit a full
and
Soul's Diablo, he dies.
It is dead.
Target focus is OP.
Rich went Black Harvest every 4-man mouth game? Interesting. Did you stop making inside the CCL videos? No, they're on Cav's stream. I just, like, stopped porting them to YouTube because depression. And just, like, no motivation. It's really hard for me to make YouTube content right now. And then they get another combo. This was really good recognition by Arcaner because the circles on the ground from the Punisher are actually like denying so much space right here that Rich doesn't have any room to juke. That's why Arcaner is able to land that combo so confidently, because if Rich presses W, he goes into a fucking root. And that's why the mobility is really well controlled. He definitely thought it was better. That's fair. He's allowed to be wrong. Combo goes on to Kyocha. Kyocha living for a fucking century. Oh my god, Kyocha, you fucking beast. Gets a spear onto Sport Billy, tanks the jump, drops back, pops one heal off the... I think he popped a 7, but I'm not sure. Gets a fat fucking heal on the way out. Big condemned by Tisk, but Kyocha's gonna die anyway to the second or third combo coming in from Arcaner this game. So Arcaner has popped 3 combos that have hit heroes this game. Every single one was pretty much a kill. The second one, like, damn near removed Kyocha. I guess 2 out of 3 is pretty fucking good hit rate. This is good. They steal left side camp so they can get an EXP advantage. This was also at a time when EXP from camps was more of a thing. They get vision over the wall with the Tyrael sword that guarantees... This is an important thing to note. Tyrael throws his sword over the wall, and Gul'dan uses corruption on the well. And that ensures that A, the well is chunked. Remember, there's no shield at this point in time, it's just HP. And it also ensures that the camp has vision of the well the entire fucking time. So it kills him. That's not a dumb question at all. Yeah, to finish it off. This might be a dumb question, but how's Tyrael enable this comp? Okay, one, Sanctification is like literally 5 divine shields, right? So during Sanctification, you can literally do whatever you want. And unless the enemy team has Zeratul, who, by the way, went through this draft, they can't do anything about it. Secondly, He has Swift Retribution at level 7, and Swift Retribution at level 7 is literally the highest move speed that can be achieved in the game practically from one button. Swift Retribution literally allows your players to sprint in or sprint out. If you want to think about like this, how does Zera stop that? Because if Zera puts a VP on a Sanctification, the Sanctification continues to tick because Sanctification is a ground effect, but VP will keep the people inside Sanctification frozen. And in addition to that, Sanctification encourages the team to clump. So you get a better VP and you disable Sancti and you have set up for a combo wombo out of that. So that's multiple solutions to that problem. Swift Retribution on Tyrael is a 45% move speed increase, right? And one thing that's really fucking important to note is a stun is effectively a 100% move speed decrease, right? For all intents and purposes, what a stun does is it prevents a target from moving at all, and it silences them, right? And it prevents them from auto-attacking as well. It does those three things, and that's why a stun is considered the most powerful form of CC generally, with air quotes. What a slow does, right, is a fraction of the first one, right? So it makes it easier to hit skill shots on a target. It makes it easier for you to land your abilities from very long range or medium range, and especially from close range, which is what is happening a lot these games. And the third thing is, if you take the average speed between Team Liquid when they're on Swift Retribution versus Gen G, who's being slowed by the Tyrael Q, Tyrael Q slows by 35%, right? Swift Retribution increases your speed by 45%, right? So that in total, that is an 80% speed difference between your comp and the enemy comp. At the point where you are moving at an 80% speed difference versus your opponents, they might as well all be stunned. Because they're effectively doing fuck all.
25%.
No, this was back when it could be improved to 35% off of the 4. Unless he took the fucking armor. Did he take? Oh my god, what a fucking troll. You fucking shitting me, Sparpilly? I mean, I guess I can see it. Whatever.
You had to, I believe you had to hit someone first to increase the slow, right?
Yes.
It wasn't automatic.
No, you have to hit it with the Q, obviously.
Yeah, you had to hit with the Q, but then, like, it was 25% until you auto-attacked, I believe.
Yes.
Or was it just always 35%?
We can check.
I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, in this game, it's 25%.
When did they ruin Tyrael's 4? Quite recently.
But the point still stands that a 70% move speed difference is very huge. And also,
no, it just increased the slow. There was no proc.
Okay. The auto attacks were to extend duration.
Yes. Attack speed on Tronda equals more Q heals. That is actually a thing, yeah. Attack speed on Gul'dan, absolutely fucking huge. One of these was a joke, one of these was not. I will leave you to determine which is which. Okay, they're doing a kill comp from top.
So
Killcha has a brain, so he doesn't get picked. Obviously, he's hiding behind his gate. Genji is starting to hit 10, so they're roaming top. They see Urella on the mid side because of the wave, I believe. They see Urella 100% right here because Rich just walked past her. At this point in time, I think Rich can rotate top and they can look for a fight, but you can already see Liquid is already sprinting away because they know they want it. Tist's options right here are basically to Frisbee at maximum range when he knows that his reset and his Kyocha are relatively far away. And the only thing he can actually... And again, this is maximum range. He can't hit it from here. And this is the benefit from Swift Retribution as well. You can make the argument that they actually did it really late. Tish could have Frisbeed right here, but he doesn't have 10, which makes it very difficult to pop your ultimate. He gets 10 here, but it's now just a fraction of a second too late. So if Genji at any point in this game had gotten 1 minion faster, this entire game goes dramatically differently. Because when Nurok was frozen right there, Tish would have landed a Frisbee on him, and he would have evaporated from the face of the earth.
Well, Team Liquid would probably have backed off a moment sooner if they had more experience.
Yes, they would.
If Genji had more experience, so maybe.
It really depends on context. Like, things do change, but like if this happens and they get 10s right here, snap Frisbee, bounce into arrow, that guy is super dead. At the very least, I could punch Arcanair because he's closer. They had a fraction of a second to make that call. Yes, but Korea is a region that is like, we have 10, they have 9, let's go fight. Right? Like, the only region more aggressive than Korea when it comes to abusing talent advantages is China. And China is just like... Okay, people think I'm excessive when it comes to aggression. China makes me look tame as fuck. China makes me look very passive. China's just like, they're 10, we're 9, they used all their ults, let's sprint at them. It's fucking hilarious. Love watching China.
Chinese bush meta is a meme for a reason.
Mm-hmm. I think they could have even getting 10 that lane. We can go see. They could have ripped a arrow, I guess, but the thing is, Reset can rip an arrow right here that hits Arcaner, and Nurok doesn't have cleanse at 1, which is worth noting. I think the problem might be afterwards. The Shadowstock's going to get popped, and then there's going to be a Horrify coming in from Gul'dan to peel them off. So they're not going to be able to engage with Kyocha or Tist on the melee target. Tist can engage because he has the D, but Kyocha can't do shit because he doesn't have Leap. So the melee is removed. I think at the point where the melee is removed, I don't think they have the ability to kill the target. Reset can press W off of the bottom wall to guarantee he hits Arcaner right here. But he has to get closer for that to actually be a hit. You can see he only hits 1 out of the 5 arrows right there. So I think, yeah, they had time to make that call, but they literally need to smash their keys. I think if Kyocha smashes Leap right here and, like, immediately jumps on Arcaner, by the way, this game goes very differently.
He is Wrath.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying if he smashed Leap instead. Like, smash the talent in for Leap the second he hits 10, and then presses Leap. But then again, debatably going Leap on Shrines is kind of fucking trolling, so... I do think it would have been better for their purposes, though, in the comfy comp. Too bad Sprint was removed from the game. Feels bad. Yeah, they might have had time to do something there with an arrow. But again, there's always the concern of Hasu just following up with a Horrify. Because you have to remember, you're thinking like 3 to 4 steps ahead minimum, right? At this point in time, you're thinking like, okay, if I do this, they're going to do that. Then we're going to do this, then they're going to do that. And if your calculation says we probably lose that, or it's too high execution, you don't do it. Right? And obviously high execution isn't an issue for Gen G, but the issue of, yeah, they're just going to counter with A, Sanctification, B, Horrify, C, Shadowstock, makes it just so that we don't win fundamentally. And again, a lot of the point of Gen G's composition is very, very similar to Team Liquid's, where it is 100% a Shrine comp, right? It doesn't want to take fights off the Shrine. The reason for this is Malthael and Sonya are both fundamentally heroes based around the concept of extending HP bars, right? And healing for a shit ton, right? Kyocha and Rich can't do that off the Shrine. Rich in particular needs a lot of setup before he starts healing for fat amounts. And Sonya can't just randomly spin on any individual wave. Oh my god, look at that combo. Just barely missed. Kyocha actually mounted up with the balls of fucking steel right there. Corruption's giving full vision of Kyocha right now. Now the gate is giving full vision of Kyocha. Arcaner comes up, and right there, he's trying to abuse the fact that Kyocha mounted up really fucking stupidly right there. That absolutely could have been a kill. That was either Kyocha testing limits and laughing in their faces, or that was just dumb. Not sure which. Because Kyocha knows the range on the Kerrigan Q. He knows exactly how far the Kerrigan can go and how long it'll take him. But at the same time, I think Sport Billy could have chucked out a Q and just slowed him, and then I think he dies. I think if Sport Billy presses Q right here onto Kyocha, Reset, and Tist, Kyocha dies right here. Let's see where Sport Billy used his Q.
The answer could always be both.
Yeah, could be. Let's see where Sport Billy used his fucking Q. Okay, no Q used, no Q used, no Q used, Q used. Oh, so Q used.
I was just going to say to chat, Sprint Doofer could be used while he was a ghost also. And so could Divine Storm.
Yeah, that was fair and balanced and really enjoyable all around. Yeah, so his Q wasn't available, so he wasn't able to find the slow. Unfortunate. If he had found the slow right there, then Kyocha dies. Or at least an engage happens. Okay, so right here, there's an interesting point worth noting. Obviously, the Shrine is top. That's why the teams are prioritizing top so heavily. The advantage that you have on the first Punisher is that the subsequent Punisher is guaranteed to spawn in the other 2 lanes. Like, the chance is so ridiculously high that we don't even talk about the other possibility. Basically, let's flip a coin 14 times, I think. We go topside here. We have a Bruiser camp pushing. It's worth noting the siege on Gen G side is pretty fucking ass. They don't really have the ability to building punch. And again, this just comes back to This composition is designed to secure the shrine, and the shrine is the win condition. Is Gul'dan the best ranged with this comp? Gul'dan is the best ranged with this comp that was in Hasu's hero pool that he felt was strong at the time when they picked him in the draft. Do you see the number of conditions I just put on that? I'm not making fun of you. Literally. Look at the number of conditions I had to put on that to make it so that we can get the hero onto the player, right? The best hero in the pool, firstly, he has to play the hero, obviously. That is good at that point in the draft, right? So at that point in the draft, they had to feel like they knew that Genji had the 5th pick, so they had to take a DPS that they felt was flexible enough to give them wave clear and potentially some shrine clear, but also simultaneously doesn't get hard countered by multiple things on the 5. And then another thing to consider from Hasuob's side is what heroes are in his pool that he can play. I know I just said that twice, but you have to realize there's a distinction here, right? Because we know at that point in time the players on the heroes. When you see the Tyrael and you see the Yrel, you know Eternal's on Yrel, you know Sport Billy is on Tyrael. When you see the Kerrigan, that's just Arcaner. Don't think about it twice. And when we see the Tronda, we know it's Narc. So we know it's a Hasuob's hero that's coming on the 4-5, right? The enemy team could predict that much. What was picked on the fucking 4-5? Was it Gul'dan plus, I think...
Yrel.
Yes, Yrel. Yrel and Gul'dan were picked together. So at that point, they knew what their tank was. They knew what their support was. They had the melee assassin, obviously. They needed to pick an offlane, and they had a flex DPS slot available. The second you lock in Kerrigan, that's an Arcaner hero, and Team Liquid, or sorry, Genji is well aware of that. So they can start predicting the rest of what you're doing. I guess basically the thing I'm saying is I could understand your point for optimization. I don't know what the best possible hero is. I think the reason I don't know is because I don't care, because it's too much effort for thinking for like no reward for me. It's an interesting thought experiment, and it would be worth like making an exercise or like posting that to Reddit of what would be the best possible pick here if hero pools weren't a concern. This is the game with the awesome Deckard versus Toronto 1v1. Yeah. I don't know what the optimization could be. There might even be heroes in Hasu's pool that would have been better here, but I don't know what they were. The only thing I know about Hasu's pool is like really just TLV. That's the only one that comes to mind, like off the top of my head. He just kind of fucking plays everything. Okay, this is an interesting setup. So again, Genji has the push in right here. Tish gets a fat condemn. It's worth noting that Sport Billy W is really fucking late. He does it after the condemn hits, which is not how you do that. So the condemn goes in, he gets the shield, he gets a swift retribution on the ground. Arcaner actually goes in with the shield, and you can see they use the shield off of the Tyrael wonderfully there, right? They had the Yrel and the Arcaner and Sport Billy all break their shields. It's a good thing when your shield breaks. Actually, Sport Billy didn't. It's a good thing when your shield breaks because it indicates that it was used. Shields that are full bar that just disappear because their timer has run out is bad. You do not want shields to just run out. You want them to be used, right? Because the way shielding works, right, is it fundamentally gets removed before your HP bar, but only while you have it. So while you have a shield, you really fucking want to use it, right? So this is a useful thing for those two, except Taz shield. Back then, yeah. Best way to learn this is Zarya? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Still here, by the way.
Alternatively, Medivh.
Still here, by the way. I went nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Is Medivh
Really
out
good.
at this point?
They just didn't draft him for whatever reason.
No, but like, does he exist in the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Medivh was out like 2 years before this.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think.
yeah, he came out before Gul'dan.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Okay, so this happens. They get on Shrine. Okay, here's something I really dislike. Sport Billy enters bush and then goes onto Shrine. Look at that. He has center bush control. Just stay in the fucking bush. Why are we doing laps? What are they gonna do? Focus you? You're fucking Tyrael. I don't know why he queues into topside to fucking E the Yrel. Maybe he felt like Yrel was like legit in danger, or maybe he felt like he gets focused. No, he throws his Q out onto the Malthael and then he smites himself. Nani the fuck?
Pick it out. Movement speed himself.
Yeah, but why do it in the first place? They're not engaging on that.
I don't know, man.
Maybe Arcaner baited him a little bit with the Q. He might have just had poor communication. Oh yeah, the cinematic of Gul'dan versus Medivh. Right. Trying to remember that now. Okay, I really dislike that. That's like a waste of like a borderline heroic. I don't know. I just hate that. I think the correct play here is just for Sport Billy to hold push and just let his team do things on the shrine and give vision. Okay, so Infernal is doing the 1v1 with Rich. Again, if Rich was die alone here, he's actually able to trade with Infernal positively. Infernal just drops straight down right there. And remember, this is a E-build Urel when she had 25 physical armor on the... Or not physical, sorry, just general armor on wherever she dropped to her teammates, right? So she just kind of ease in place right there to give Arcaner armor. And this indicates Arcaner wants to go in right now. Right? Arcaner wants to use that armor. Armor is the exact same thing as a shield, right? You want to use it while you have it. Unfortunately, I guess they just feel like they don't find anything, or they feel like it's not the right time to engage. And remember, Team Liquid is actively talking to each other, right? They're not just fucking silent sitting there like having a wank, right? They're all actively paying attention to what each other are doing, right? They're trying to enable each other. They're trying to play as a team as much as humanly possible. I think Team Liquid is the team that actually scaled the hardest for this tournament of any team in the world. Gen.G didn't scale as hard as Team Liquid did. Team Liquid like improved a shit ton. Obviously, Gen.G was higher up, so it's hard to improve when you're already up there, but Team Liquid was like, holy fucking shit for this tournament. It was like really insane. This was literally the best Team Liquid has ever been, guaranteed 100%. So we get the W there from Sport Billy. We get the shield out. Sorry, back forwarded way too much. Owl comes in from Tyrande. I don't like that Owl either because it doesn't give vision of the left side brush. It only gave vision of 2 bushes, and then just kind of fucked off to Africa. I guess he's concerned about getting flanked, but, like, don't they have vision of Sonya right now? Yeah. I don't know. I don't agree with that, Owl. Okay, they get the stun onto Tist. Arcaner immediately goes onto Tist, switches target. So it's worth noting that Rich just went forward right there, and they're immediately trying to punish Nurok's positioning. So the second Nurok enters the shrine, Gen.G's fucking laser beams on him. Look at that right there. Oh, wait, I'm retarded. I thought that this was the one where Nurok just, like, fucking evaporated. It looks to me like both teams are, like, hyper hesitant about engaging, and I really don't like that. I always bitch about this. I literally spent, like, 9 hours yesterday complaining about CCL because I felt like both teams were ultra hesitant and, like, afraid to fight, even when one team clearly had an advantage and was, like, just fucking sprint at them. Rich really fucking wanted the backline here. Look at how fucking deep he goes. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, I think in his opinion right there, they should have just gone on Nurok. Okay, so Rich inted. He gets W'd in. He doesn't have 13. He has no way to protect himself. I'm mad because I feel Simp got a free win. Yup. So Rich W'd forward. At this point, he doesn't have his W. They know that. They pop everything on Rich. Rich evaporates. Sanctification comes out. It's worth noting that the Dragon Arrow doesn't interrupt the Sanctification, neither does the Lord NATO. Ultimate on Last Rites is down. 1 second. Thank you. Can I have a drink, please? Thank you. Drop the thing. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Are you all still awake, by the way? I've been, like, talking to myself for a few minutes.
I am
Yes.
here.
Really
I
good.
don't know where.
Starcaller alive?
Yes.
Very good. Soren might be dead. We may have
No,
lost
he has
Soren.
to
Let's...
stay silent for a while. He told me.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Storm troll draft so bad. Yeah, I agree. I mean, both teams fucking hard troll drafts, man. Don't get me started on the fucking drafts from yesterday again. Okay, they get the Lornado.
Parting good value.
Yeah, every button has been pressed here. The only thing available is Ardent Defender. Obviously, they can't use Last Rites because the target of Last Rites is, or the player with Last Rites is fucking dead. Combo goes out on Arcaner. That unfortunately fucking misses everything. I think he was anticipating Reset was going to use the wall next to him to escape. And Reset was like, I think you know that I'm going to do that, so I'm just going to walk down instead. That's a pretty big brain play by Reset right there. Look at that anticipation. He's like, I know that this guy's going to predict that I'm going to move into the wall. Look, just like stare at the Hanzo right here, right? Look at this. Gets queued. So he's slowed by Tyrael. First thing he knows, I just got slowed by Tyrael. I know they're engaging on me. Goes for the W anyway. Doesn't quite find it on Hasu. Bad angle, right? But right here, goes for the auto attack on Hasu. And then right here, looks like he's going up to D over the wall to get to safety. Immediately backsteps down. Look at that. Fucking beautiful. And then D's over the bottom wall. Absolutely beautiful Hanzo play here. Besides the fact that he fucked up his W. But the actual movement itself is fucking huge. And remember, all of this occurs within a 1/10 of a second. Right? It's not like he fucking sat there and debated and fucking laid out his options, wrote down a plan, and fucking mailed it to himself for the future. Right? Literally
like,
made that in a fucking 1/10 of a second that plan was made.
How should he be positioned here? Because I feel like that bot bush is really terrible for Hanzo to be in.
I agree.
For like a number of reasons. Like,
I
should he
don't
have been on the other side of Sake? I
don't know where
he can still
he-
hit the shrine from there.
I feel like he could just be on the left side of Sake and just, yeah, use the bottom wall for bounce. I guess one concern of his is possibly that shrine minions interfere with him. And then I guess the other concern is the location of the bounce is basically only ever going to hit where Sport Billy is. And then he can try to bounce off of the shrine thing in the central to hit where Infernal is, but that's not easy. It's really fucking difficult. Yeah, Reset's Hanzo W's were not like... I think at this point in time, he wasn't at his peak Hanzo. Because I think at this point in time, Reset was like playing... I don't remember what, but I think Reset was playing Hanzo less at this time. For whatever reason. Like, this isn't peak Reset Hanzo, I feel. Because peak Reset Hanzo is fucking disgusting. Okay, so they go forward right
this is
here.
still fucking disgusting.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Like, we can't, like, again, I haven't stated this at all, chat, but, like, all this criticism, all this complaining, all of this, like, you know, like, saying that they did poor things or this or that, like, it goes without saying that these are fantastic world-class players, right? And just because they are world-class players that we respect, that we look up to, that we draw inspiration from, right? The pro scene is what you look up to as, oh, I really want to be that one day, right? Or, oh, I'd love to do something cool like that guy did one day, right? And that's what the pro scene is supposed to be for. It's an advertisement for your game, right? And, like, at the end of the day, recognize that all this nitpicking doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It doesn't mean we're, like, saying they're bad players by any means. But just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're incapable of making mistakes, right? And mistakes should be looked at and dissected. And the reason we're doing that is so we can get better. We just want to be good at the end of the fucking day, right? Because we like the game.
Yeah.
Game is enjoyable. Want to be good at the game. Unga bunga. Okay, Sancti comes out right there, just barely misses the URL, doesn't really fucking matter. He gets cleansed for a quarter of a second, then the Lornado comes in. Eternal just jumping, completely free right now because there's literally nothing to punish him, and he has Arden available. They lost because Rich was on Mouth, hard to carry and easy to die hero. I disagree. I think Rich did really fucking well. I do think he, like, hard trolled his level 4 talent. Starcaller gave me some really interesting information on that. Cav did an analysis. I actually forgot about that analysis completely. That found out that his level 4 talent quite literally gave him no value this game.
He might have done it. Like, he did it in a private call with me.
Oh, okay. I feel like I remember him mentioning it, but I don't think it was this game that he was talking about, so I think my information is just wrong.
Yeah, I remember it was this game because of the support 1v1 that happened.
Ah, gotcha. Sonya was the last pick here, yes, correct, Zuzubal. I hate that pick personally. That's fair. I can see disliking it. I mean, consider it is a shrine composition. It is a shrine composition versus a shrine composition, right? That is the purpose of the composition. Obviously, Genji felt that there was something powerful here that they had possibly utilized, or they fucked up draft. Who knows? We're never going to know. It's entirely possible that Noblesse got baited somewhere in the draft into drafting suboptimally. I think we can make the argument that the draft is suboptimal by the fact that they lost and kind of the manner in which they lost, but we'll see that over the course of the game, of course. But yeah, there's just a lot of individual things to pick out here from, like, what's going on the general play. Look at that spear by Kyocha instantly onto the target that's going to get Lornadoed out. Like, you can literally pick any individual player apart here and just see them do something fucking amazing. Like, literally pick any individual player and, like, within 5 seconds, they'll do something fucking amazing. It should be like, if pros are making mistakes, imagine how many mistakes you were doing and not realizing. Yes, absolutely, right? And, like, the mistakes that pros make are not necessarily going to be small mistakes either, right? They can be broad sweeping mistakes that indicate, you know, a fundamental miscomprehension of something, right? Or a, you know, poor utilization of an ability. And when you question shit like that, you start to figure out how things should be played instead, right? That's literally how Cav figured out everything he figured out. He literally just stared at replays until he was like, oh, okay, here are the patterns. XD.
So I feel like right here on reset, when he does this scatter on Gul'dan that misses, he could have scattered on the wall above Sake and actually hit the team fight.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you mean.
Like, right here,
Right there,
he could have
right
shot
there.
that scatter on
Yeah.
the back wall above Sake.
Yeah. I'll move the mouse cursor. Oh, wait. Can you guys on the stream see the Yes, you can. Right here is what he's talking about. This wall right here. I feel like you picked Medivh last year and just win. Possibly. But then you also have to question, was Medivh in their pools at the time, right?
NA hadn't made Medivh broken yet, theoretically.
No, Medivh was broken here. Medivh was super broken here. He just had no prio for some reason. I have no fucking clue why.
But like you were telling me earlier that like NA was the one to always pick up like heroes that weren't meta and like make them meta.
Yeah, but the thing about Medivh was everybody
NA
knew he
started
was
playing
powerful
him.
at this point in time, right? Like, I don't know. I really can't say why Medivh prio is so fucking low here.
Looks like there's a game at the end. Infernal Shrine Dignitas.
True. Medivh was commonly banned at this time. That's fair. A lot of these games are probably bans that I'm not thinking about. I really don't know. Medivh is 100% a hero that, like, if your team is capable of playing, you always think about. And if the opponent is capable of playing, of course you think about, but... Risa gets out here, fantastic. Throws on the back line, punches forward, grabs the thing. They go on Kyocha. Kyocha spins to wins. This is another situation where I think his 7 would have been a lot better if he just went for life funnel. Because he would have lived there off of a life funnel. And like he's a god at spinning, so. Oh my god, look at that beautiful condemn to set Kyocha up as well. If only the E had been able to come out just a little bit later. I think NA popularized Medivh before anyone else, so he probably lost in scrims a lot. Quite possibly, yeah. They might have just come to the conclusion that the number of ways to deal with Medivh so exceed the value of playing Medivh. And it's also worth noting, this is like another point, right? If you practice your hero extensively, like you put in time into that hero, right? You use your practice time to play. What do you mean you miss Z-Build Sonya? She's still right here. Nothing's changed. Fucking, if you use your practice time for that hero and that hero just gets banned, right? It's kind of a fucking waste of your practice time, right? To a degree. And Medivh is a hero that legitimately requires everybody on your team to play together with in order for you to really maximize his potential.
Maximum Medivh. Not only you have to practice Medivh, everyone in your team has to practice Medivh.
Exactly. At least you made them burn a ban. This is true, and then at that point we have to question what's the value of a ban versus practice time, right? And a lot of teams probably came to the conclusion that just wasn't worth it because they have abilities in the draft, in their picks, in their selections to shut down the Medivh, right? A lot of people think that Last Rites is countered by Medivh. It's actually the other way around, because Malthael doesn't have to use Last Rites until he wants to confirm for a kill, right? Medivh has to use W proactively and actively all the fucking time. So when the shield is down, you pop the Last Rites, then the target dies. It's a really weird concept that a longer cooldown would beat a shorter cooldown. Yeah, same thing for Pyroblast, right? Like, you just wait for the shield to be used, and then it's kind of like the threat. It's like the fear of God thing, right? It's a concept of the threat more than it is the concept of using the defensive.
Well, no, because you also have to wait for a portal then. Because if you portal someone who's being pyroblasted, you can shield them in time.
True. It's not like you get a free ban either. Right, exactly. It's not guaranteed to be a free ban even if you practice the fuck out of that hero. Because again, the enemy team might just feel like, oh, just go Malfurion and put down a root and then, you know, all your portals are fucking worthless. And if your portals are worthless, well, W and Q and Medivh aren't that scary. It's really just the portal that enables disgusting shit. Right, so if teams feel like they have enough ways to control portals, then they don't really need to give that much of a fuck. And like, it's absolutely possible that teams did feel like they had ways to control portals, right? I feel like I suck at W due to the weird point and click with zero range. Fair. Hasu shielded every tracer bomb. Ah, interesting. Did not know that. Good memory, Fane. Pop in right here. I think this was just an ult economy fight, right? Yeah, because TL has like no fucking ultimates here. This is really weird that Genji loses this hard. God damn, Punisher fucking carry potential, I guess. Let's see what Arcaner does, because he's kind of the center of the composition.
He punishes.
Never mind. X fucking D. I don't think it's fair to say Last Rites counters Medivh. It's all execution. That's fair. Arcaner just finds a two-man combo at fucking maximum range right here. Literally just walks up, finds the fucking two-man combo. Instant horrify, fucking kill. Just done. No cleanse to be noted on the right side team. Oh my god, Kyocha lives? Nani the fuck? Holy shit.
XD.
That's fucking insane. They couldn't land one more auto on him? Oh my
landed
god.
one, but he tanked it.
Yeah,
Watch
he tanked it with...
closely. Tirante landed
I saw
one,
it.
but he fucking tanked it. XD.
Did Hasu miss an
Look at
auto attack at any point in time?
The only one that's
No.
in a position to land an auto
Hasu
attack
didn't fuck up his auto either. Oh my god, that's just insane. I don't understand how you don't take any cleanse or burst protection here. It's like, I mean, again, you can rewind if you want to watch the draft in case you didn't watch it, but I kind of explained the majority of the thought processes there already. I don't want to reiterate on them too much because it's like annoying when people have to hear me say the same shit over and over again. I hate hearing me say the same shit over and over again.
TLDR, old Deckard potion do big burst heal
Yes.
before his potions got changed.
Okay. Again, like you can note in this game, literally fuck all is happening off the shrine. Like both of them are shrine compositions. Both of them care about the shrine, right? They'll look for shit, but like nobody's really doing anything off the shrine actively, right? Team Liquid just hit 16, so Genji's just gonna do nothing for a while. Or no, the enemy team's gonna hit 16, then we're going to walk forward into them like we want to fight them.
Yes.
It's an opposite day apparently. Oh, they didn't want to let this fort die completely for free, so they decided to take an engage on Arcanera right there, who just barely sidestepped the, I believe, Sapphire, but not 100% sure.
Rich, like, super splits the cooldown from the team, too.
Yeah, he does.
So this is a 4v5 then?
Mm-hmm. It's a good fight. It's a good setup for them. I mean, they prevent the mid fort from dying for free, right, by using their bodies. They protect their fort. Unfortunately, the mid fort doesn't have a fucking well. So it's, you know, kind of questionable as to whether it has any value. Personally, I don't think it does, but... No, I think most people feel like that, Psionics. I think it's just frustrating. I think one thing that a streamer has to do is, like, you end up having to repeat yourself a shit ton, which is, like, kind of why commands exist, right? It was for people who got sick of saying the same thing over and over again. They're just like, just type exclamation, blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, I don't mind repeating myself if I'm explaining things, but if it's inefficient, I get annoyed. More with myself than anything else. Okay, both teams here are Shrine composition, so again, they're kind of playing for Shrine. Genji is kind of just like, okay, so we're not getting 16. There's no way for us to get 16. We're way behind at 16. Just take the fight we get. Genji basically just says, just fuck it. Because the alternative is literally giving the entire fucking map and just losing. Right? Like, again, like pointing out, not losing is not winning. Right? Not losing is just not losing. But that doesn't necessarily mean you win the game either at the end. Right? You need a win condition at the end of the day. And here the win condition is going to be brute force your face through them because macro is not a win condition here. So yeah, right here Sonya comes in off of the flank. Finds a Wrath Spear. Goes onto Sport Billy, unfortunately, instead of onto Arcaner, which is I think what he was aiming for. Rich is chilling on the side, but he is spotted by the enemy team. Hasu pops his E right there. Doesn't really hit anything with it. Combo goes out, misses. Arcaner has to queue out backwards. Oh my god, look at how much space Rich takes here. This is so interesting to watch. Literally stare at Malthael at the bottom of the screen. Look at how much space he just takes. He just walks all the way forward. Look at how far he's zoning Nurok off. That's so cool. I love seeing players do confident shit like this because it's like, it teaches you like the extent of your hero, right? It teaches you what your hero can do.
Because he's not in range of anyone that can actually pressure him.
Mm-hmm.
He's being careful of how swaps.
And that's what the problem is right there, right? The sanctification comes out, and there's no answer to the sanctification just fundamentally in the draft. So the second the sancti comes out, that Lord NATO that is designed right there to protect Rich from the stuff that's coming in, right? There's no protection anymore. And the Horrify also comes out at the same time, so it prevents his self-defense from going off. I don't know where he popped Shroud of Wisdom, but he definitely doesn't have it available right here when the damage comes in. And we can see the majority of the burst happens from the Kerrigan going onto him as well in the first place, and the W hitting. I believe the W hits. Just watching the Kerrigan right here. Maelstrom damage. Ian from Tyrande as well. The entire team just punched him to death, basically.
Yeah, he finished Black Harvest, finally.
Fantastic. Insane fight down 16. I mean, they had to, right? The alternative was just losing the game. Or did you mean it's an insane fight despite that? NATO was a little late, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I would. Sake was in range to do it much earlier. In fact, I would make the argument that Sake should have just done it right fucking here. Just chuck it up and push them off the top side and just start punching Eternal. Like, literally right here, just send the Lornado right fucking here and just get these two to fuck off, start punching Eternal, get his Arden out for free. Also protects Rich, does a lot at the same time, protects Tist.
It's really hard to, just like as a note real quick, it's really hard to interrupt Sanct with Lornado on LAN because the reaction times are fucking instant on LAN.
Mm-hmm.
And Lornado has a wind-up animation. Like, you put it down and they can see that it's coming and then it starts spinning.
It's also it's also worth noting their solution to sanctification might have just been Dragon Arrow, because right here, look at how much that Dragon Arrow misses by. It's a fucking pixel. right? Like it just barely misses because the target that he was aiming for teleported forward at the same time, right? We can go back frame by frame and I'll show you exactly what I mean. And I'll show you what Reset was aiming for when he fired the projectile versus what happened and why the projectile missed. Reset missed arrow. Yes, exactly. At what point does he go from I love confident shit like this to, oh god, they're all on me? Right here. Decker was out of vision though. Sorry, I'm missing the context.
It doesn't matter if you see the Decker doing a cast. It matters if you see the Tornado, like the Tornado itself, like will appear as a circle and then start spinning after a delay. And that delay is like the reason why you can't interrupt Sanct on LAN. Because Ethereal will see it starting and then just Sanct and get it off in time.
Oh my god, that arrow just misses and that prevents them from winning this. Because you can see the Frisbee comes out from Tist here just kind of as a panic Frisbee. 3-man hits, right? And you can see the Emerald is currently out, which means if the Emerald is out from the Decker, that means the purpose of this engage is not to protect Rich, it is to kill things, right? You don't protect Rich by like, oh, we have to protect Rich, we have to put all our buttons on him and body block for him and keep him safe. No, no, no. You protect your teammates by killing the opponent faster than they kill you. Right? Like, that's the purpose here. That's why they're looking the way they are looking right here, right? And unfortunately, even if that arrow had hit, if Tist hits his Frisbee at the same time, which, again, we don't know that Tist would have hit the Frisbee, right? He might have seen the arrow missed and immediately been like, okay, fuck this, right? Like, he sees the arrow miss right here, and the Frisbee comes out almost at the exact same time, right? So I don't know what the state of comms was like. This might have just been a, oh god, my teammate is fucked, press my R, right? And again, they're down fucking 16. They're down 2 levels. They're down scaling. Pretty much all they had going for them here was positioning, and even that's pretty fucking hard against a Tyrael composition that can just kind of fuck positioning into the ground, right? So there's a lot of difficulty here on Gen.G's side for them to win this fight, but the end point is Tist has no resources. Tist is going to get cleaned up right here as well, and that's just 2 dead. Oh, is he alive? Oh my god, he's alive. What a fucking lord. Good job, Sake. Really surprised Tist survived that. I thought I remembered him dying there, but I guess I'm retarded. And yeah, with 1 person dead on Gen.G's side, they just can't contest anything. Hitting that arrow absolutely could have turned things. Yes, the damage alone might have made a very big difference. It also might have given them slightly more time to set up for a Tornado, possibly, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, here's the Punisher defense. So again, they have 5 people up at this point. Still don't have 16. They're getting zoned off soaking top by the Urel punching the Malthael, and the Malthael is just like, yeah, we're gonna get 16 through passive EXP. I'm just gonna go help my team. Right here, again, Malthael has to stay mounted until the Punisher comes really fucking deep. Infernal, literally, look at this fucking bullshit from Infernal. Look at this fucking bullshit from Infernal. Infernal's literally like, X fucking D, I have arrived, gentlemen. Let me just punch you. Let me just punch you for free. There is nothing you can do to me. Because I am going to punch you. And you are going to have a bad time. There comes the armor. There's a fatty shield on Arcaner. I'm actually really fucking surprised he didn't engage with that. I'm actually...
Give back a minute. You guys can keep going.
I'm like fucking amazed Arcaner doesn't choose to engage with that shield. They actually choose to back off. Which seems kind of fucking insane to me, but... Maybe they felt that this turn fight was how Gen.G was going to win the game, so they felt their best case scenario to win the game was to avoid the 16v16 fight and play for 20. Because they do have a 2-level advantage here. But I would also make the argument that while Infernal had gone in at the start right there, when he did that double knockback, they should have just looked for the backline immediately. Yeah, just swift retribution right in and sprint. Other NA arrow, fair. Wonder how these fights would have gone with new Deckard Ruby? That's a very interesting question to ask. I do think Ruby is like... insanely strong. I think it was strong enough then to be worth picking, but I think the thing was because the potions were so good, it wasn't necessary to have the burst. Look, who can say, really? Fantastic spin by Kyocho right there. Look at that. I think that right there, that setup. Oh my god, Eternal lives with 2 fucking HP. They're not taking advantage of a lot of their setups here. Kind of just like that. Yeah, and that was just a raw combo by Arcaner. And it like ended up hitting nothing. He tries to get the raw combo into Rich or Kyocha or Tis, but he misses all 3 of them. He just kind of aimed for the space in between them and ended up missing everything, unfortunately. So much clump on top of Senya Mouth. Small potions with basically an extra HP bar too in some fight. Fair. There's a Sanctification. That is such a weirdly placed thing. Sorry, I looked away from the screen for a second and a million things happened. Rich is chasing, Rich is chasing, Rich is chasing. Combo right there. Rich W's through. Fantastic. Beautiful. Looks for the last rights on Hasu. Burst heal comes in from Hasu right there. Look at how fucking low all of Team Liquid is. But Rich dies first. And now, ooh, beautiful counter kill on the URL right there. Yeah, this is exactly what Liquid was scared of. Genji hits 16 and turns with a fight. So now both teams have an equal chance of like contesting the next shrine at the very least. Genji is way behind to 20, so they do need to look for something. But again, their composition isn't designed to look for something. It's designed to kill things on the shrine.
Hey.
Nice, Squeaky. Does Rich only get that W to dodge combo with Black Harvest? What? I think... Wait. Do you mean here? In this moment? Ah. No. Ravenix, I understand what you mean. I just meant the comment that, does the marks die without Black Harvest there? We can count.
We have to time it.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. I think you would have had it up. They last 4 seconds, right?
Yeah, it's only 4 seconds. So any more than 4 seconds, and
Mississippi,
it would
2
drop.
Mississippi. Wait. Let me see if it was the cleave or the E that hits Nurok, because Nurok is the one he TPs to.
Look at the game time. Don't count in your head.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. No, my brain can't do that. I think he would have had a W onto something either way. Because he had multiple marks available and they lasted 4 seconds minimum. Useless talent, yeah, fortunately. He also didn't pick the 16 that pairs with it, so X fucking D. Oh my god, look at this beautiful fucking Holy Ground by Sport Billy. Just a casual free D off of Hanzo. Lovely stuff. And he uses the owl right here very aggressively. Just immediate whoop, I'm out of here. Now Hanzo is quite vulnerable if they can find an engage on him quickly, but they're not looking for a quick engage, they're looking to play 20, I think. It's kind of a mistake by Genji to be pushing lanes as hard as they are right now. They're giving EXP to Team Liquid. They could potentially have looked into Frozen every single wave and potentially just try to deny EXP, but... Did he see Kerrigan right there? Because if he didn't, that was fucking suicide. Yes, he sees Kerrigan right here. He knows she backs off. Because Kerrigan backs off posturing-wise right there, he knows he can go and check the bush and be able to pop his stuff before they can actually kill him. And he has mobility options in that the wave is below him, so he can E down there and press W. This is like the kind of stuff that's like constantly going through their brains. Just to give you an idea. Owl comes out. Beautiful pinch right there by Sport Billy. Kyoto kind of isolated, but he has a wave next to him to spin on if he needs it. They end up nuking the wave with the W, or the Q from
I'm back.
the other thing. Katos didn't exist as bad, freezing a lot harder. Fair. Spell shield on mouth instead of unstoppable? Yes. Because, like, unstoppable doesn't do anything into Sanct, right? Is the problem. Team Liquid literally needs to wait like 10 seconds for 20. Wait, what is that Holy Ground? What? You could have closed 2 chokes. And Arcaner's a...
Yeah,
okay.
if he had Holy Grounded the bush that hits the Zen, then they could have all dived Rich.
Yeah. This is fucking stupid. If you can press 1 to unstop, you can just dodge with W. Fair. I can see it. E from Infernal right there. Kyoto spears forward. W doesn't really do anything right there. Armor Shred has been used by Tyrande. They get the spin out there. There's the fear. That's where the fight turns. And Kyocha just gets fucking melted. Holy fucking shit. The fact that he survived there is raw insanity.
Again.
Yeah, he's done that like 3 times this fucking game. Holy shit. He should have died right there, I think.
Kane, I think you should rename yourself to Kyocha. Maybe you start surviving everything too.
I don't think that's the case, fam.
No, then we'd have to report Zane for dying.
XD.
Remember when we found that guy on Quick Match? named
The reset guy,
Report
yeah,
him?
that annoyed me. I was tilted. Fucking beautiful triangle from Deckard right here. Locks down double front line. But I just don't think it matters. Oh, the Sanctification comes out to save it. Okay, that's really good because Arcaner just missed his combo. Arcaner tries to... Oh, he doesn't have CDs. He has the CDs right here, but it's a little bit too late. And also, I think Infernal just knocked away his target that he wanted to combo, which was Rich. Yeah, he knocked him away as well, which obviously doesn't fucking help if he's trying to hit a combo. But he missed combo as well without... I think he was trying to hit a raw combo as well, wasn't he? Because like here, Arcaner doesn't have CDs, doesn't have CDs, doesn't have CDs, doesn't have CDs, doesn't have CDs. There he looks. They jump on Tist. At this point, it's a 5v4. But here's the interesting thing. Fucking Genji knows they have to fight this, because if they lose the Shrine, that Punisher is going straight to core. They're going to lose anyway. So Rich goes onto the wave, starts healing himself up. Kyocha steals away from Rich, preventing him from healing himself. Question fucking mark. They might just be prioritizing getting rid of vision control right away. That might just be it. Because I would have allowed Rich to heal up a little bit more there. Rich is going to get double potions. Double potion of shielding. Left side choke is controlled. Right side choke is controlled. Rich dies completely for free here. This is really bad. Rich having no resources here doesn't fucking help. He's only at 2k right now. Now he's at 3k. Eternal removes
I think what was
about
really
500.
smart there is Tyrael threw his sword in the bush while Hanzo had vision of it to say, you can't step in this bush.
That is big brain. Wouldn't it be better for Genji to engage on the Shrine itself? More sustain for them, more choke points for NATO. I agree. Team Liquid just kind of pushed them off of it.
Well,
Rich
Dan
kind of ran it
has,
down. Debatable. I could see it.
Well, they have to go right now if they want the Shrine, which they clearly do.
Yeah, and the other thing to understand is Rich's thought process right here is I'm going to go through, and if I get fucked, I'm going to W back out. And then he literally, from the second Eternal hits that stun, he literally perma-CC'd to death.
Yeah.
Right, like you have to understand, he went into the bush, got perma-CC, died. Did Rich have one here? I have no fucking clue and no way to check.
It takes 2 seconds to activate anyways. That's longer than he lived.
No,
Doesn't it
Shroud
take
and
2?
one. Shroud of Wisdom is 2 seconds. The one is instant. But the one wouldn't have helped.
Oh, you're talking about Fear the Reaper.
Yeah, Fear the Reaper wouldn't have helped. Like it doesn't do anything there. He just gets stunned.
I think Rich face checking that bush, yeah, that's pretty fucking questionable. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think the only way they win this right here is if they set up a fat triangle off of Deckard. Off of a Sapphire. They find something fat and they immediately, like, nuke someone. But at this point, it's a fucking 3v5. Even Genji can't pull this shit off. He doesn't even eat the bush. Yeah, that's fair. He might have just expected them all to be on the Shrine because of the way they backed off, and he might have just decided it's a calculated risk because I need my buttons when I go in. I can't use them to go in, if that makes sense, right? Like, you have to consider, like, they're not aiming to just, like, you know, passively win, like, a one-person kill, right? They're aiming to wipe the entire enemy team, right? And in your head, you might be like, okay, well, if I need to wipe literally the entire enemy team, I have to do this now before they get any more leverage, right? And it's worth noting that the Shrine is pretty fucking over here. It's 30 to 40. They're about to get it, right? So Rich might have decided, okay, if they get the Shrine, even if we wipe them, or even if we only kill 1 or 2 of them, they can still end the game versus us because they'll have the Punisher pushing onto core, right? So there's a variety of decisions and a variety of thought processes that are going through Rich's head before he does this, right? It's not that he's too fucking stupid to check the bush with the E. It's that he made the decision that, like, hey, if I check the bush with the E and slow myself down in any capacity, we're not going to be able to win this at all, right? And that's just, at the end of the day, that's just what it was, right? He might have made the decision right here, like, hey, if we slow down in any capacity right here, we're fucked. We have no way to win anyway. So I might as well just go in, right? Like, it's very, very, very fucking easy to say, like, yeah, he shouldn't have face checked the bush, but, like, there's a million thought processes before that, right, that are also happening at the same time. Because, again, he's not aiming to not lose. He's aiming to fucking win, right? There's a difference there. At this point in time, I don't really care about the rest of the game. It's just kind of a cleanup. But, yeah. That was Gen.G versus Team Liquid in the semi-bracket finals. I made the comparison before, which is a little bit harsh, but I still think true. I think the semi-final, Team Liquid versus Gen.G, was the real finals. I really think this was the real finals of the game. Because this series was way tighter than the Dignitas games was. We can go do analysis later on of the Dignitas games and just try to figure out if they just got raw outdrafted every fucking opportunity, which is entirely plausible.
Didn't Shenshi versus Dignitas have like the Towers of Doom game thingy?
No, that was...
That was the mid-season brawl.
That was the last tournament before this one, I believe.
Okay.
Game 3 was heartbreaking. It really fucking was. You need to coach 30k X fucking D. Why would Zane Hyde coach anybody? The guy's an idiot. I'm gonna see if there's another game for us to look at here. We can take a look at the Volsky. No, we don't want to look at the Volsky game. That map's not on the map pool, so we don't care about it. Do you guys want to take a break here? Kind of been talking for like fucking hours straight.
Break would be nice.
Yeah, okay. Let's take like a 5 to 10 minute break. Chat, I'm gonna throw on a YouTube for you guys because I know you have short attention spans, and we will BRB.
Very good.
This is a demonstration of my coaching sessions. Oh, okay. I'm